It's round 3 of the FIA Formula 3 Championship in 2024. Welcome to Emilia-Romagna, the Autodromo Enzo and Dino Ferrari, more commonly known as Imola. And we are underway for the practice session here at Imola. After a year away due to the horrific floods the region suffered, we are back and we cannot wait to get going. A few new facilities as well, been touched up after the flood damage, but the circuit looks better than ever. A few licks of paint and everyone ready to head out there. Alongside me in the commentary box, as always, is Omi for the F3 session. Welcome, good morning to you. 45 minutes of practice and the track looks actually really good. Good morning.
Good morning, Josh. F3 is back. So excited to have it back on the F1 support build. But yes, the track does look amazing, but it's also much more tricky than when we came here in 2022. Much more gravel has been added, and it's definitely going to cause some issues for the F3 and F2 drivers, especially, along with also the Porsche Super Cup drivers as well.
Yep, everything on this weekend by F1 Academy. We will once again be bringing you coverage of the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup, their championship beginning on Sunday morning, and it looks absolutely epic out there. Now, Formula 3 do have a little bit of a change. Omi, I'm going to hand you over because driver penalties and bans from Australia, everything getting just a little bit worse out there.
Yeah, it definitely is as well. Martina Stenson and Alex Dunn have both joined the McLaren Academy, but for Martina Stenson, yesterday, it wasn't the best announcement day for him, as it was announced that he would be banned from the Silverstone round later on this year due to participating in the GB3 Championship that took place at Silverstone. Another driver who's also banned is also Nicholas Solov, who was competing in the Euro Cup at Spa. So he'll be banned from the Spa round, and they didn't ask permission from the FIA, so that is the reason they are banned. And Solov and Leonardo Fornaroli will be Noel Leon will be investigated after the session unsafe release. So not looking too good for Solov.
We're not even 5 minutes into the session and the car's already having problems as well. So, a new procedure in Formula 3 for the beginning of this practice. The first 10 minutes of the session is used for track acclimatization. After that, the drivers are free to head out onto the circuit and start pushing power lap times. Same rule will apply in Formula 2 in order to make sure that everybody gets a fair crack at the circuit and there's no accidents. This is after, in Australia, in the practice session, drivers who were on cool-down laps were interfering with drivers on push laps, and the drivers decided to take matters into their own hands. So a slight change, and I think Omi as well for the better, because it means just a peaceful start to every first practice for the F2s and F3s.
Yeah, and they only get this 45-minute session as well, so they need to make sure that they're able to get them running, especially around a challenging circuit like this, where qualifying is so crucial coming up. That's going to be the next session after this. Yeah, so qualifying is very crucial because it is hard to overtake. While it is Formula 3, it is definitely hard to overtake around this venue.
Yeah, the streams for those will be up later on. Basically, last night I had around about an hour and a half to get everything sorted. Let's hear some race.
Of course, it's a home race for me, the first one of the year, and the first one here in Imola in Formula 3 in general. It's a really tricky track. You don't have many runoffs, so a mistake here is really costly, and it's really not easy to put a lap together because there are many brakings that are not that easy to be done with curb usage, and it's not also very easy. So I think it will be a tricky track to be quick in, but nailing the lap, it must feel good, of course.
Is the Bologna region in the background here. We are in Italy, but more commonly known as Emilia-Romagna, this region as well, and it is effectively going to be a very interesting weekend of the championship. Bless you. To come into it. But yeah, I'm thinking as well that, have you noticed there's a few more grandstands up as well? I've spotted about 4 different grandstands that weren't here back in 2022, which is great. But I don't know, I love Imola.
Yeah, Imola is definitely one of those incredible racetracks to go racing at. But Gabriele Mini, who we were just hearing from, keep an eye out for him. Of course, a winner in Freco in 2022, and also a winner in F4 Italy when he raced here back in 2020. So he's gone well around this venue. So we'll see how he gets on. A lot of drivers have gone well around this venue in the past in the other feeder series. Of course, lower down the ranks, but everyone just getting a feel out there for this circuit, and cannot wait for qualifying. That is going to come up. But red flags, that's also going to be another thing the drivers will have to contend with, because it is a challenging circuit. There's 30 cars out there. We are probably going to get a few red flags with cars spinning out, so you sometimes do need to make sure that you can get the lap in early, or you could be affected with a very late red flag. Same goes for Formula 2.
Yeah, just a 30-minute qualifying session later on today as well, which means that they're going to have to be right on the limit with things and making sure that everything will be and is okay. Just a quick thing as we look at Sebastian Montoya coming down. Reminder that if anybody is watching along on either F1 TV, not using the Alex Jakes feed, but using the Sky feed, and anyone watching on Sky Sports F1, no David Croft this weekend at all, which is weird, because David Croft has done every race since the 2007 European Grand Prix, because of course he joined 2006, missed one race for the birth of his son back in 2007. Murray Walker took over at the Nürburgring in that crazy European Grand Prix of 2007, and Croft has been at every one since, and he's the only person of the Sky F1 team to have done every single race ever. That is now no longer true. So, yeah. Although, it's not going to be my first race without Crofty commentary, because up until 2018, we flicked between Channel 4, BBC, and, of course, Sky Sports F1, whoever had the live view. So, if BBC had it, we were with BBC. If Sky had it, we were on Sky. But since, since the takeover of 2019, we've just stuck with Sky ever since the broadcast. So, first time I won't have Crofty in the back of my headset since 2019.
Yep, absolutely. So that's going to be a little bit weird for you. But Harry Benjamin's going to be stepping in. Of course, a former commentator of this series as well. Getting his chance on Sky Sports F1 as Capcom.
So all the drivers back in the pit lane then for this one. Let's take a quick look with the world feed as Chris McCarthy alongside Alex.
It was Kasper Stuker's first time jumping in a Formula 3 car, so just trying to put some more laps in. When we came to Imola, it was Gabriele Mini who was fastest here in that post-season test from Oliver Goethe. Third place was Dino Beganovic, so he'll be feeling confident after that. But this was the man who led on home soil at Barcelona. He'll take a lot of confidence from that. How much of an effect can something like testing do for you, particularly in mid-season going into a future round, Alex?
I always think it's a big turning point in the year, and we often see a differential in the way that the drivers perform after those mid-season tests, because when you've had a couple of rounds of the year, it starts to, it starts to come at you. You've got qualifying, and then you're straight into the races, one after another, and you're sort of, especially as a rookie in the championship, you're sort of rolling with the punches. So many times these teams will say the driver was about where he needed to be at the end of race 2 of a weekend, but that's how we needed him to arrive. And in that instance, you see drivers come to the mid-season test, get a couple of calm days in the car, and suddenly realise, right, that's what I needed to be doing. That's what I needed to be the technique that I needed to be employing in the car. We're just seeing Kasper Stuker there with one hand off the wheel. Whether he's got a bit of kickback over the curb and hurt his hand there, can often happen on the big curves of Variante Alta. Let's hope not.
Oh, there was
Yeah, Variante Alta is not the best part of the track to go off at. There's big sausage curves there as well, Omi. So, hope he's okay. Looks like he should be okay as we get cars coming on the track because 10 minutes have expired, which means that the full running can now begin here in practice.
Yep, cars making their way out onto the circuit now around this extraordinary racetrack. Great to see them all heading out. But yeah, the in-season test that we had at Barcelona, let's quickly hear though. Probably another corner early.
Every time watching his homeboard, it's like watching a beautiful movie for me. He means a lot for me. He's a good inspiration for me. Gives me a lot of motivation. So it's also, this track is also special for this, you know.
Go on.
Yeah, so with the in-season test, of course, so crucial for all of the teams and drivers because it's basically half of the season's running all in a few days. You learn so much, especially with how much less time do these drivers get as well out there on the circuit. So it's great to see them all out there in Spain. Same with F2 as well, all getting some decent running in. Browning, a driver who was very, very happy with how his in-season test went. So we'll see who has learned some stuff from there, and they're now making their way to Dino Beganovic in Prama's home race. So we'll see how they get on Gabriele Mini in his home race as well, the Italian driver. So let's see if he can have a good weekend and can try and get on the top step of the podium.
So, first runs as well put Joseph Look on top. He's done a 154.424, but Kasper Sutra has had his lap time deleted by the stewards for track limits. He did do a 153.276, so that's dropped him down to second on his last lap time. But we'll see who goes where, as several drivers are in the pit lane. But in total, out the 30, we have, well, actually now on the track, 22 cars now circulating out of the 30, with Kasper Sutra just coming back out of the pit lane. The only driver in the pits in the top 23 is Tommy Smith, and then Fulleroli, Matakafu, Ramos, Goethe, Montoya, Boya and Browning all further down as well. So the 3 Tridents, the 2 High-Techs, and one of the... it's not Marty, who is that? It's, yeah, it is, there we go. I had to really look there. Joseph Loke. Now, this is him on that lap.
Yep, absolutely. That's him on the out lap, getting past Mansell and throwing it through then the corners, navigating his way through. Joseph Loke mounting over the curve as well at Variante Alta. So attacking the racetrack then for Joseph Loke.
I'm not liking how big these curbs are compared to a Formula 3 car. They're fine for F1, but F3 cars are diddy. Porsches are going to be rolling almost. That's going to be a lot of fun.
I cannot wait for that. That's going to be fun to watch.
I've just noticed that they've blocked off the chicane. They've put a new barrier at the back of the track there. Where the chicane used to be, at the last corner, they've barriered it off. Coming out of Ravazza. Interesting.
Yep, absolutely. As we're watching with Charlie Verse, we've also got to mention that no more PHM. It's now fully rebranded as AIX Racing, so that's what we're going to have to refer to it as. But Charlie Verse targeting a qualifying improvement, of course, to turn his F3 confidence basically into results, because you might have a lot of confidence in the races, but if you don't start well, then it definitely is really weekend over. As we watch Kimi Antonelli, he'll get his running out in F2 later on today, but qualifying is so crucial, especially for the next 2 rounds. I've already mentioned how hard it is to overtake, but we go to Monaco next as well. And Monaco, there may be a bit more opportunities than usual with the weather forecast, because the very early weather forecast says there's a very high chance of rain across the weekend. There could be a wet Monaco with a dramatic F3, F2, Porsche, and also F1. So that could be interesting. But yeah, qualifying is going to be so crucial. It is qualifying. It is crucial every round, but being inside the top 12 can completely transform your weekend.
And of course, practice for Monaco for F3 and F2 is actually on the Thursday. not on the because there's too much over the weekend. So we do actually have some running on a Thursday still in Monaco. There's been talks about doing that for every series. That the Formula 3s are there for, the Formula 2s, have them on a Thursday, which I think is a good idea. Bogdanovic, a little bit close at the exit of Variante Alta onto that new, as you say, gravel trap exit. But I quite like that idea. Think about it, if we want to reduce the weekend a little bit, and was Bogdanovic now down at Ravazza, puts a wheel on the gravel. Of course, Mazepin went off here in 2021, if I remember correctly. But yeah. If we want to have a streamlined weekend, you put the F3, F2 Porsche Super Cup practice on a Thursday, you have the F1 practice and qualifying on a Friday, and then you have the sprint race on a Saturday for the F3s and F2s, and then you have the F1 race on Sunday. If you want to make it a 2-day weekend, you do the opposite and just put one F1 practice, and then have the F3s, F2s, and Porsches out there on Friday. Just streamline it.
Yep, absolutely could do that as well, as we watch Mansell make his way through in his ART, comes across the line, goes behind Arvid Lindblad, a driver who has exceeded his expectations. He's done very well, has the Red Bull Junior, of course, nearly took victory in the Australia F3 sprint. Did take victory in the opening round in Bahrain in the sprint race. But Lindblad said that the safety car really ruined his momentum. Without the safety car, he would have been able to get Martinez Stenson, of course, who is now McLaren Academy driver, of course.
Let's have a replay as we see further back. This is Solov. Off the gravel at Aqua Minerale, just going straight over, looking not to hit the barrier, and then we're seeing the 24 of Lawrence Van Hopen expertly dealing with Variante Alta. That was perfect. He sort of drifted into the corner. Oh, and now the 29 bouncing over the curbs as well. Oops, I'm getting a little bit of a tank slapper on at the exit for Callum Vosin in the Rodin Motorsport car. And putting a wheel on the grass, on the gravel.
Yep, getting to see how rough the gravel is out there. We did see a lot of cars out there in F3 and F2 when we came here in 2022. Now, these sessions were run in the wet when we came here in 2022 for F3 and F2. It was a wet qualifying. It's much more drier. There is chance of rain on Sunday, but Monaco will be very exciting with a very high chance of rain. Early weather forecast, but still a very high chance of rain. So that's going to make the weekend very, very exciting indeed. As Ramos goes to 23rd right now, but still yet to get a proper lap time on the board there, just making their way through on out laps as well.
Let's start with Croft not being here. Should I do it?
Do what?
The lights out, away we go.
You could.
I could. Just thought, for those 3 races, he's not there. To be fair, he nicked it off Benedict anyway.
Yeah. He did nick it off, Ben.
Because I'm just thinking, if he doesn't say it, that's the first time since Australia 2012 we haven't had it, because even Ben did it. We'll go back
it's
over.
a really exciting track. It's pretty high speed and some really iconic corners, and yeah, there's a real flow to the track. I really enjoy it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to race here last year in F3, but we have it this year, so I'm really excited.
Yeah, because Ben Edwards did it in 2012 Australia, because it was his saying. He invented it from touring cars, moved it over to F1, and then Crofty in Australia said, it's lights out down under. He then in Malaysia said, and it's lights out in Malaysia and away we go. And then I think China was the first time he said it. So it's a bit of a thing, isn't it, that it's never been not done. Although he did not say it once, didn't he? In the restart in 2021 at Abu Dhabi. At Baku. Yeah,
Baku.
Baku.
Yeah.
Only because
he was just too much in the moment, and he forgot.
Yeah, I genuinely think he lost track of time because there was brake smoking. And then, bollard off. Vosin's taking the bollard off, coming out of Variante Alta. So that's going to be
trying to be Max Verstappen there.
That bollard. Oh, actually, great. Omi, there's a bollard. Excellent. Excellent. Max isn't going to win this weekend. Oh, dear.
Yeah. And Callum Roysen making his way off at the Varazza. He's about to come over the line. Lawrence Van Hoopen goes to 4th. And Callum Roysen crosses the line, goes to 13th position. Does the Rodin Motorsports driver with 24 minutes to go in this session as well. To stand up on into Privazak is able to participate after some doubts yesterday. Bedrin up to 11th, now 12th. The Solov goes stop. Nikita Bedrin also participating in Formula Regional this year at the same time. But I'm guessing you'll miss the Freca rounds that he has clashes with F3. Which I believe is first next
Someone's
week.
in the barrier!
Flag.
Someone's in the barrier at Variante Alta. This will be the red flag then to come out. And it is a red flag. Can't see who that is as Charlie Verts goes top. That's deep in the gravel and touched the barrier. Who is it down there?
Red flag, of course, is out. But yeah, that is deep in the barrier. We'll wait to get a camera angle off it.
It's the 11.
It seems like it could be Montoya, possibly.
Yeah, it is. It's Sebastian Montoya. How's he done that? He's beached himself in the gravel with four.
Has he just absolutely mounted the curb and like kept his foot flat to the floor?
Yeah, and sort of bounced. Yeah, it must have bounced. Look at the gravel.
Bounced in.
Yeah, it's bounced in. So he's jumped the curb and bounced in.
We'll have to wait for a replay, but that's not the way that Campos wanted to start their weekend. All Campos drivers want podiums because they've had a consistent showing in the first 2 rounds, but that's not the way that you want to start your weekend. Sebastian Montoya had a lot of those moments last year, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
A talented, quick driver, but had a lot of those moments, and it really cost him, and it seems like he's had another one now this season in round 3, but we're going to have to wait to get a replay. But red flag's out. Session is now going to be interrupted. All cars will be making their way to the pit lane, but we're going to wait for the replay as Montoya walks away.
I love how we've put gravel back at Variante Alta after everyone took it away, saying it's too bad up there, it's too dangerous. Okay, let's take the gravel away. Oh, everyone's smashing into the wall. Let's put the gravel back. Oh, we still see people smashing into the wall. It's just a good thing to actually get them stopped in time. But he's beached all 4. These Formula 3 cars are not 4-wheel drive. How he's beached all 4 tyres, I have absolutely no idea.
Oh, I'm really fascinated to see this replay.
Have we got
Of course,
it?
then. We're still waiting, so I hope they're working on it.
Yeah. Would you like to sit
We do
down
want
in
to
the
see how he
shade?
got there. Oh.
Would you like some water?
Brilliant.
All good? No, fine. Tell you what, though, the Italian marshals, and that's a doctor there, she's just saying, is you all okay? The Italian marshals are fantastic for offering you food, drink, water, and I'm not even kidding, wine in this part. Right, here it is, and let's take a look. There's your 10. So here's Montoya, second in shot. Hits the curb. Next thing we know is in the barrier. Well, that's great.
That's
So-
what we capture it.
Yeah, he clipped the curb
Okay.
on entry though, didn't he? Oh, great.
Yeah. Clipped on entry, so did he just lose it completely? We're on board now with Gabriele Mini making his way down there.
Happened too far ahead. We haven't got it. We don't know what happened. Wow. Expert camera operations here, everyone. Don't worry, I'm sure one of the fans might have been filming
brilliant.
it. How do you miss it? The cameras are everywhere. Oh, that was ridiculous. Maybe one of the fans have filmed it and is going to post it to social media. Right, red flag's out then. Let's hand
That's what we're going to have to hope for.
Yeah, we'll find out eventually. Because Montoya doesn't have a camera. Right, let's hand over to the world feed. Chris McCarthy and Alex Brundle while we wait for the red flag to clear.
Of the both races, he got a P6 at Australia. He'd had quite a difficult Bahrain. He was really under the weather in pre-season testing at Bahrain. Didn't really get any laps in whatsoever. So had a difficult season opener where qualifying did not go his way at all, but he was the hard charger of Bahrain, and that's not an understatement. He came through in both races from the very back of the grid. Here we see Nicola Solov. Well, he's certainly doing a great job, isn't he, for ART Grand Prix? Just 4 thousandths off of JBMotorsports' Charlie Wirtz, who's leading the way so far. Great job from Charlie Wirtz. As I said, ended the last round P5. And it's all about getting those points in the feature race for these drivers. Now we come to Martinius Stenshorn. New colours. Positive news for him yesterday. Wasn't all negative, was it, Alex? The McLaren Driver Development Programme announcing 2 new signings from the FIA Formula 3 Championship. They announced they'd signed Martinius Stenshorn and Alex Dunn, which was great to see.
Yeah, it really was great to see, and fabulous for the McLaren Driver Academy. Those 2 signings. We're looking, though, at Stenshorn now. I think we're going to hear from him, are we not, Chris?
Yeah, let's go and hear from Martinius now.
Yeah, I'm really proud to be picked up by McLaren. It's been an honor, and we went to Woking on Monday, and it was really cool as well to see the workshop with all the legendary cars. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying it a lot. It's everything that a driver needs to be as complete as possible. You know, we can do some simulator work on our driving, and also training, nutrition, and of course media training as well. So there's a lot of new things to learn from me.
Great to hear from Martinius, and 2 good signings from McLaren there. Martinius Stenshorn from High-Tech they sign, and Alex Dunn from MP Motorsport. They join the likes of Gabriel Bortoletto from Formula 2, Bianca Bustamante as well from F1 Academy within the Formula 1 paddock. There goes the Bollard back in.
Return of the Bollard, the difficult second series. Back in on the first part of turn 14.
It's taken out by the 29 of Callum Vozin.
Yep. And it's been put back, but cars making their way back out onto the circuit. We're watching with Leonardo Fornaroli as he makes his way out and out down towards Tamburello, of course, but of course, as Chris was talking about, Stenshorn with a bit of a new livery with the McLaren colours on his car.
This is what happens, by the way, when you give your team viewer to a producer and they can see all 9 screens that we have operational. So the start screen, the intro, the combox cam, Omi's combox cam, the timing screen that you've got on now, the other one, and everything like that. And they just see when I'm sitting down during red flag, and they put us on the main camera. So I have to quickly stand up. So thank you very much for that. Right, track temperature 32.2 degrees as well. Wind speed 3 miles per hour per second. 49% humidity out there as well. So yeah, not too bad. Yes, I have one of my friends helping out behind the scenes, pressing buttons. As well.
Lovely.
So then I don't have to lunge over everything. And also setting up the OBS, because I did not have the energy to do that this morning. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I'm lacking sleep at the moment. I'm recovering still from that infection I had. Which turned out not well. I don't know. We don't know. I still ate something with ginger in it. So I think it was a combination of that and then what I caught off of something. 9 times out of 10, it's got to be our niece, but still, she's only 6 months old. She can't really have a go. And baby's not well anyway. So, hello, Zara. I should really text Kelly and see how she is, actually. Somebody should remind me about that. Speaking of which, the other sister...
You probably should.
Yeah, I should, actually, because if Zara's not well, she's throwing up. Omi's not well either. Let's see, the 17th in the pit lane.
Oh, well, I kind of am.
You're getting there. Everyone's getting
A little bit
better.
of a cough this morning.
Who's actually on this weekend then? We've got the Little Owl coming in as well for some F3 racing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Synthol's around, but again,
Yeah.
everyone's having trouble with it all because it's exam season. So everyone busy there. Right, let's take a look. Jess is here from qualifying. Yay! And then for the rest of the weekend as well. Oh well.
Lovely.
Excellent. I know where Jackson is. I will follow early.
Yep. Full.
I looked to next week and I've found out how panicked I'm going to be. Yeah, the production meeting's going to be insane.
Tuesday's going to be a very big production meeting.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It's going to be crazy indeed.
Let's have a look at Forlaroli across the line. Goes third, 133.310. Steinshaw's just behind, goes 8th fastest, doesn't improve on time. With 14 minutes to go. Oh, big snap coming out as well at the backstretch. As we see for Steinshaw still. P9 at the moment. Martinez Steinshaw, winner in Australia, if I'm not mistaken. Max Esterson.
Was as well in the sprint race.
Yeah. Sorry, I
think there's a little bit of lag here as well.
Yeah. Hang on. Give me a second. Let's see if I can refresh. Usually if we do that, it catches up.
Lovely.
Omi, can you hear me?
Yes, can.
Excellent. Caught up.
Brilliant. Tim Travanitz has had his lap time deleted. And he's a driver who's wanting to be the top rookie this season in F3, but he's got plenty of company, including his fellow Red Bull Academy junior, Arvid Lindblad, who's performed absolutely brilliantly as Luke Browning crosses the line now and goes quickest by 0.7 of a second with 12 minutes to go as Solov now goes to second place.
Browning then doing a great job with the 132.367 then, as we see Vozin up to 9th. Blue flags are waving. This is now down at Aqua Minerale for Leonardo Forlaroli. Goes, locks up inside front and then jumps over the exit curve as well. Still within track limits. And then, and riding across the curve there at the exit for Sami Metakafu at the exit of Rivazza 2.
Yep, as we take a look at Charlie Wurz making his way through the Rivazza with a bunch of traffic ahead and behind, all in a queue, making their way as he's going to make his way into the pit lane. So will Kasper Stuka, the car directly behind him as well. Some drivers making their way out for outlaps at the same time, but interesting to see them all getting some running in, but the qualifying session should be wide open later on. Today we'll see who's going to be taking pole position. After this, of course, we have FIA Formula 2 and their practice session around this venue as well.
As we see this again, this is
Ramos.
And Ramos on the other trident. Big snap exit and over the gravel as well at Aqua Minerale. They're all just twitching at the rear.
Aren't they?
Yeah. I love the bright
watch
orange
Alex
now. Yeah.
In the McLaren liveried car, just like Martinez Stenchon, as he's slightly wide, as he makes his way through Toza now, and up towards Piratella goes Alex Dunn, who is a very, very quick driver, but let's see if he's going to be able to show some of his talent this weekend with results, and let's see if he can try get himself near the top. Absolutely brilliant in Macau last year. Other than the crash that he had in the main race on the opening lap of the race, which was a bit unlucky for him. Other than that, showed brilliant pace. And let's see what he can do this weekend. The newly signed McLaren Junior, of course, along with Martinez Stenchon, who were both signed yesterday. So let's see if he can have a positive start with the papaya colours on the car.
Locks up. Keeps it on the track limits, though, coming into Rivazza. I just love watching. I'd love to walk this track because there are so many bumps coming out of the top of the hill of Variante Alta down to Aqua Minerale. There's just so little bumps as well. Boyer goes up into third. Now Esterson goes second. 132.931. Oh, and Ramos goes 5th, 133.067.
Yeah, all of the drivers, of course, as Goethe goes second, all of the drivers, of course, from F1, F2, F3, Porsche, all running the track yesterday. Of course, in the wet. That was great by Sebastian Vettel to get them all running the wet, wasn't it?
Easy, because now they've all got pneumonia.
Yes. We were joking about that during IndyCar yesterday, of course, as we watched Dunn make his way through the Variante Alta, slightly wide, a little bit of a lock-up for him.
Wonderful livery. Pure orange.
Yeah. Love it.
We were going on about what we're going to have in Monaco next week, because it's a back-to-back Formula 1 weekend. Imola this weekend, and then we go over from Italy to Monaco in what is actually one of the shortest hops on the calendar.
Yeah. Soloff to third, Browning already at the top by just under a tenth due to the lap of Ollie Goethe. Browning now trying to extend his advantage. Callum Voisin goes up to P8. Browning crosses the line, does not improve on his time as Noah Leon goes up to P4.
Also, I wanted to point out, people will probably text in saying, what about Spa in the Netherlands? That's the shortest top. They just got to go over the border. Yes, but some genius decided to put Spa and the Netherlands a month apart. Instead of a week apart, they've put them in the summer break. It's the stupidest. Let's make sure that we're carbon neutral. Also, let's put the only 2 countries on the entire calendar that are side by side. Instead of being a week apart, let's put them a month apart. It is stupid. And then let's go to the Netherlands, back to Italy again. Oh.
Clever.
It's also the first European race of the season, which is the first time me, Omi, and everyone else has to wake up at this ungodly hour in order to start the sessions. But it's ridiculous, because it's round 7. We get 2 to 3 races in Europe before we then have to fly back to Canada.
Let's fly back to Europe.
Yeah.
Fun.
And what's worse is, it sounds like that there could be a Chicago Grand Prix.
Oh my god.
It's
this
insane.
is not getting ridiculous. It is definitely getting very, very ridiculous indeed. But Monaco being next week kind of makes the pain a little bit less of no Alex Jacques on F2. Because he's back basically next week. I don't have to wait too long for Monaco.
There'll be trackside at Monaco as well, I understand.
Yep. Liberal lock up by Gabriele Mini as he currently attacks. Does the Alpine Junior Boyer also pushing on, currently P7 for him, but he's going to be looking to improve that in the last few minutes of running before we get qualifying underway here at Imola, and laps at the limit. Bit of traffic for Mini, having to navigate his way through, isn't he, at the end of the lap?
So much traffic. Goethe's got a fastest first sector. Mini's been compromised at every option in this third sector. Foloroni goes in third. Mini takes the flag and jumps up to 5th. Solid time, considering that he had a lot of traffic. Boyer is in 9th. Goethe is up by 47 thousandths of a second as we join him coming downhill in towards Ravacta. Just touching the brake, flicks the car in to the left. Now a double left as well at Ravacta 2. Back on the throttle mid-apex. And are you number 1 for Goethe? He's currently P2, across the line.
Boyer, first of all.
Yeah, right. They've picked up the wrong car. That's better. That's great then. I have to wait for Goethe. Steinshaw. Where's Goethe? There he is, fastest. 132.047. They picked up the wrong car, and it's even got the different livery on it. I was wondering what was going on.
It has indeed as well. As Charlie Wurz now makes his way down to Ravazza. Let's see how he is going to be able to do. But Ollie Goethe, another driver to keep an eye on, winner in the Euro Formula Open in 2022. Luke Browning going even quicker as now Charlie Wurz comes across the line. He goes into P7, but Goethe's gone quickest of all. But for how much longer is the question, because Browning is absolutely flying, and flying into the wall is one of the Rodin Motorsports cars.
And that's a red flag as well to the session with 5 minutes to go. Is that at Acqua Minerale? No, where is that? That's at the exit of That's at the exit of Acqua Minerale. That's on the run up.
Yep, that's Piotr Viskini who has gone into the barrier. That's not what we wanted to see at all in the dying minutes of the session as well. So we'll have to hopefully get a replay this time and see what happened to him.
Yeah, no camera cut. Where is that? I have not a clue. We don't get a driver tracker. Yeah. We don't get a driver tracker in this series. Right, hang on. It's Sector 2. Is that the exit of Toza? Is it the exit of Toza? It's at top of the hill before Acqua Minerale. So he's drifted off at the top.
Yeah, Piratella, that would be. And he's went off the road and straight into the barrier. And the red flag out due to it. And surely the session will not be resumed.
Yeah. It is at Piratella. I couldn't tell where it was. I know it's at the top of the hill, but yeah, it's Piratella. Thank you, Omi. So, yeah, that's an unusual one there. He's just sort of gone too quick off the road. And, well, for a driver, he doesn't even have a helmet artist. That's a pure helmet. That's pure carbon fibre helmet. Oh, well. I doubt we're going to get a session resumed. But yeah, in the meantime, let's hand over to the world feed as we wait to see.
Found himself into the gravel, into the barriers, but walking away from the car. Disappointed, no doubt, and it been running in 23rd place. Was just come through the first sector, done a 30.2 in that sector, and then unfortunately found himself an incident, but I think that'll probably be the session over, and it will be Ollie Goethe quickest, the Red Bull Junior for Campos Racing, the team that was fastest at the Barcelona in-season test with Mari Boyer. Ollie Goethe 4th place when all the times were put together at that test, so he had a very positive test there as well, demonstrating that Campos Racing really do have the pace in that car. They mean business going forward in this championship. They're here to fight for wins. Mari Boyer 3rd. Campos Racing, what a positive start to the weekend for them. Our championship leader, 2nd place, 2nd in the championship, 4th. And his trident teammate, Santiago Ramos, P5.
Bit of a queue up in the pit lane here.
That's Max Esterson, who has stopped. Has he lost the engine?
No, they're looking at pushing him down the pit lane. Maybe lost the engine. We should be able to fire it back up again in that little Genza. They're going to push him down the pit lane. They want to do it relatively quickly, otherwise everybody else will be complaining. They were overheating behind him. We're seeing several lap times deleted for track limits. And just coming back to it, I think those big wide curves are allowing drivers all the way off the road, which is where those laps are being deleted. We're hearing now that the session will not be resumed. So that's the info that we have. So that'll be the final order.
Now it's had a lot of different turns as well, isn't it? We're seeing these track limits coming, some down at Ravazza, some on the exit. Looks a Variante out as well.
Turn 8 as well. That's the.
That looks like it could be at the run up to Piratella, is it as well? We've got. I mean, we've got them. We've got these scattered all over the circuit, basically.
Yeah, I think what they mean there is the exit curve of Toza.
Ah, yes,
They must mean the exit curve of Toza, which obviously is wide enough to accommodate a Formula 3 car. I don't think it's an issue that we'll see for other series. You can see that great big wide, you can see it left a shot there. The great big wide exit curve of Toza may give drivers the opportunity to be all the way off. Ooh. Not that far off.
Yeah.
But all the way off in any case. And off into the wall with a decent amount of damage there for Wisniewski.
Yeah, there was a lot of track limits deletions, and that's something I think the drivers were getting used to in that practice session almost.
Yeah, Well, let's hope they don't have to get used to it too much in qualifying. The whole point of these changes to the racetrack is that you don't have that. When we get to the end of qualifying, we know who was first, which is always nice, at least. But there have been some deleted by track limits. They've been really clear. It's specifically cited again in the supplementary regs for this weekend that the white line is the definition of the track, no exceptions, and no advantages to be taken on that one. So we'll see how that one plays out. Checking in with Max Esterson in his Gemza.
Yeah, I mean, the positions are still changing as well. We just had some more deletions come in. So, yeah, we saw Max Esterson. He had a good session. There we saw him fighting towards the front. Zagazzetta, his teammate, had a good session. Matthias Zagazzetta, the Peruvian driver, became the first driver from Peru to compete in Formula 3 up in P9. It's a very positive session for Matthias, doing very well. Charlie Wirtz, I think overall Genza will be very happy with how it starts. And of course we have AIX Racing now, the newly branded AIX Racing. Nikita Bedrin up in 18th for them in that session. Leo Fornaroli, as we mentioned, P4 for them. I think Rodin Motorsport will be very happy with how things went with them. Callum Voisin up in 15th place. Incident involving cars 25 and 29 noted for a red flag infringement. That's Nicola Sullivan, Callum Voisin.
I suspect, so it's noted differently on the race control screen for not entering the pit lane.
Right.
Is at least the Solov call on it. So it could be a combination of factors. There's obviously an earliest arrival time that they have, but also if you catch the red flag before the pit lane, you're supposed to drop to red flag speed and enter immediately.
Right.
If they then continue past the pit lane, that may result in a penalty. So you could have an issue where Solov is in that final sector,
right,
has caught the red flag, not seen it, and gone by the pit lane there. Right. So they'll be having a look at that.
So watch this space, basically. We'll see what happens there with that one.
Ferrari fans out in force already.
I was going to say, good to see the Tifosi in nice and early, supporting the Formula 3 drivers, and I'm sure that is going to be the case throughout the entire weekend. Ollie Goethe for Campos Racing leading the way in practice. Luke Browning in second place as they make their way round to the support paddock. Mari Boyer in P3. Two Tridents in the top 5 for Neroli and Ramos. Nicolas Solov in P6. Charlie Wirtz for Genza Motorsports 7th. Gabriele Mini in his home race P8. Matthias Zagazzetta, great session for him, P9. Likewise, Noel Leon, the top Van Amersfoort racing driver, in 9th. Arvid Lindblad, 11th place. Christian Mansell in 12th. Max Esterson was next. Then newly McLaren-backed driver Martinius Stench on 14th. Callum Voisin for Rodin Motorsport was 15th. Dino Beganovic 16th. Alex Dunn 17th. The first of the AIX racing drivers now was Nikita Bedrin. Then we had Tommy Smith in 19th. Lawrence Van Hoopen 20th. Sophia Flörsch 21st. And it was Sami Megatunov. Piotr Wisniewski brought out the last of the red flags in 23rd. Kasper Stuka was next. Then Tramnitz, Loke, Shields, Dufek, Intrapuvazag and Montoya, who went off on his 3rd lap. Well, that is all for practice. We go qualifying at 3:05, local time here in Imola. Do join us as we will set the grid for both races. For now, though, for myself.
Yep, Omi, what do you make of that session as well?
An amazing session for Formula 3 qualifying. Is going to be very, very exciting later on today. Cannot wait for it. There's going to be laps to the limit. There's going to be mistakes. The drivers will have to contend with the chances of red flags. We've already seen 2 red flags today, so in this Formula 3 session. So cannot wait for qualifying. But Luke Browning, Ollie Goethe, looking good.
Join us in a few moments for Formula 2 practice, but we'll be back later for F3 qualifying. Join us for that. Bye-bye.